Good crafternoon, everyone. My name is Susan Campfield. Welcome to my stamp room. Come on in. We're going to create together. This is one of my special class videos. I do these videos public, but some of you have a packet to make this card along with me. So yay. This is called Crafternoon, and it is a unique fun fold card that we'll be making together. There will be, I'm also going to show you some alternates, some other versions of this fold that I made, and there will be a tutorial available later to purchase if you are so inclined to get step-by-step photos and instructions and measurements on all of the cards. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. It is hot here in Minnesota. I think a lot of the United States is very warm today. It's 93 here, extremely humid, like you could wring water out of the air. So let me know what your weather is like where you are. If any of our friends are joining us from the South Pacific, it's winter down there. So I imagine it might be quite a bit cooler there. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our project. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I do want to remind you, I almost forgot. When I'm done, if you want to get the blog post that will go along with this video, again, it will be coming out after the fact. I'm hoping by Monday. You can sign up for that at Suestampfield.com. You can also sign up for free project sheets. But if you want to get the Crafternoon blog post, just sign up for the blog posts. And if you want free project sheets too, sign up for that as well. Free project sheets match my other videos. This one is, again, a class. And so this one will have a paid tutorial available. All right, let's dive in. Now, if any of my team members are joining in, I'm seeing some of you in the comments here. Yay, so glad you're here. Demonstrators had an event today with Stampin' Up! Called Creativity Now. And initially, I was told that it wouldn't end until 3:30 Central Time, but it actually ended early and entered 2:30 at Central Time. So I'm so glad my team members can tune in. My team members got all of the measurements so that they could cut their own packet to create this card along with me. And they'll also get the tutorial for free, as well as the customers who placed a qualifying order last month, got a packet in the mail, and they will also get the tutorial for free. If you would like to create with me next month for Crafternoon, just place a $50 order before tax and shipping in my online store, and you will get a packet next month for our next fun fold card. All right, enough with, I think I got all of the important things out. Let's look at some fun stuff, right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to my desktop camera here. There we go. Let's make the banner go away. I almost hit the finish button. That would have been bad. I didn't though. So I'm going to show you our new fun fold. I call this the Quadruple Z fold card. So this is the fold right here. This is the card that we're actually, oh my gosh, you guys, hold on 1 second. There is a large spider that just dropped down from the sky. Okay, he landed on my light. I'm just gonna hope he's gonna be happy to coexist there and doesn't jump on me. Excuse me, starting over now. This is the card that we're gonna make together today. This is the Quadruple Z fold, so it opens up like this. So here we have, oh, my little pieces popping off there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Z-fold strips that form this card. It stands beautifully for display, and it's quite easy to make, super fun to decorate. I can't wait to show you the, oh, he's gone now. Oh my gosh, where'd he go? Oh no, okay, I see him. He's crawling the other side of the light. All right. On this type of card, you put the sentiment on the back. This particular one, you saw my little cheat sheet there, uses the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. That one is available online only. It's not in the catalog, but anyone can order that in the online section of the Stampin' Up! Store. And then we have the Happy Hibiscus embossing folder that I used on both the front and this inside panel. I love this folder. I actually used it on 2 of the cards because it's so awesome. And when I initially designed the card, I used temporary adhesive because I changed my mind about 47 times. So you can see this guy is still popping off because he probably doesn't have real adhesive on him yet. So I gotta fix that one. Anyway, so in addition to using the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper, which is part of a suite called the Floral Impressions Suite, we're also using the Impressions of Bloom bundle. That's where this gorgeous sentiment is from. I mean, look at that font. Is that but not so elegant. These die cuts are also from there. And then on the back of the card, this sentiment. Now, my customers that got a packet, there's no stamped images in there because of the Stampin' Up! Copyright. I am not able to send stamped images, but you will have all the die cuts, and just substitute a greeting of your choice if you don't have the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. And then, of course, Good Old Stylish Shapes is our label there. All right, so let's go ahead and, let's see. Okay, you want to do a video. He's not a huge spider, but he is indeed a spider. He's only about a half inch, maybe a quarter, 3/8, maybe 3/8 inch. He's just hanging out watching the cards. All right, it's all good. All right, let me show you. So in addition to making this version of our Z-fold card, I made 4 others. So let me show you those. Let me just start stacking over here. Now I'm going to start covering things up. All right, this one was so fun. So fun. So this one is with the beautiful Coneflower Celebrations bundle. Oh, I should tell you, well, I'll mention it later, but Stampin' Up! Is having a sale right now on products that are part of a suite. So these, the designer paper, this bundle, those things would be part of the buy one, get one half off, that BOGO sale. So just know about that. Okay, back to our Coneflower Celebrations. So this one uses the Woven Textures Designer Series paper and the gorgeous Coneflower Celebrations bundle, and then I was inspired by that to use by the colors that I chose to use in my Coneflower, to use the brand new, this is a little sneak peek, the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. This will be available to purchase as an online exclusive in July, starting July 1st, actually. If you're a demonstrator, you're able to pre-order that right now. Again, on the inside, I have these little pieces of woven textures just to add a little extra fun surprise on the inside of those Z-strips. Just makes it extra fun, right? And then on the back of this card, we have made my day, and I used another little strip of that Woven Textures paper. There's actually several patterns in that pack that would be beautiful with this card, but I'm super excited about this new 3D sunflower embossing folder. It is just gorgeous. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Oh, speaking of Coneflower Celebrations, I'm going to jump back just a second. I'm jumping back to the May Crafternoon. The May Crafternoon was the, okay, I got to think of the panorama pop-up card. You can see how it pops up right here. And for that one, we also used the Coneflower. We just did it in different colors. We did it in pretty and pink. And so you can get all the details about these cards, the panorama pop-up, on my blog right now. Okay, back to the Quadruple Z-fold. Okay, so we've got that one. All right, next up we have this super sweet little card right here. I love how this one came out. So this is with the Sweet Jar bundle. This is a bundle that came out in May, and it's part of the online exclusive. So you find this one in the online store. Just super, super cute. And this one I made into a birthday card. So it opens up like this. Now you might recognize this designer series paper. It's called Marbled Elegance. I think it came out a year ago. It's still available in the online store, and some of all the patterns have on one side have a touch of gold. This is actually the same designer paper, just the flip side that I used in here, just to add that gold element. But if you didn't like that, you could absolutely do this side, or if you didn't like the pink, there are reds in here. It would be super cute in reds as well. And then I used the eyelet embossing folder, also part of a suite. And I want to say Marbled Elegance was part of a suite as well. So that would, I believe, also be part of the buy one, get one half off BOGO sale. And then I used some gems here. I used one right on the lid of my cookie jar, which I actually punched out of gold foil. And then on the back of this one, we have Happy Birthday with some little candles. The candles are part of this Sweet Jar bundle. You can actually, these are made to fit inside the jar. You can use them separately. So I love how brilliant the stamp was designed. Sending a little your way is one stamp. So you can do it in a different color, and then there's different words you can put in there. There's sending a little, there's love, sweetness, can't remember all of them. but just super clever how it designed. So Bonnie doesn't have any picture. Yes, I have started. I think everyone can see them, Bonnie. Bonnie, you might want to log out and come back on. Okay, so this is another one of our alternates. Now, I had so much fun playing with this sweet jar that it made me think of a new online exclusive product that is coming July 1st that actually matches this same punch. So if you've already purchased this bundle, or if you were interested in that one, next month you can purchase the Jar of Joy stamp set right here. And the Jar of Joy has all sorts of different Christmas elements to put in your jar. I chose the cookie stamps. I was apparently on a cookie kick. And this one is a 2-step stamp, so you can, I just stamped it in pecan pie and then stamped real red. Actually, it lines up better for me if I do it the other way around. I will walk you through all of my tips for that in the tutorial. And then of course I use the fun peppermints there. And once again, I use the Marbled Elegance Designer Series paper for this card, but these are some of the red patterns from that same pack. So may your heart be filled with joy. Again, it stands for display. Gingerbread is like one of my favorite things at the holidays. Now, it might seem odd that it's 93 degrees out and it's June and I'm showing a Christmas card, but I know a lot of you like to start your cards in July, and a lot of demonstrators do Christmas in July classes. So maybe this will inspire you to get in the mode for that. Let me flip over the back side here. We have this is another stamp from the set that's made to go in the jar, wishing you the sweetest Christmas, with the little lid on it. So that is our Jar of Joy version of the card. Let me just slip that over. And one more to show you. This one is another sneak peek that is coming out on July 1st. And this one is made with the Painterly Pears Designer Series paper and the Perfectly Pears bundle. So I don't know if you can see that. I once again used the Happy Hibiscus embossing folder because I thought it just went well with the flowers in the set. These items right here all are die cut right out of the Painterly Pears Designer Series paper using the Perfectly Pears dies. And then the greeting from the Perfectly Pears set, and then the matching embellishments that are part of that. The embellishments are called Low Profile Sparkle Dots. And on the back we have our sentiment, a good friend is a gift. And again, I brought a little bit of that paper from the front around to the back side. And then if you open up from the side here, you'll see I use some of the same pattern of paper. There are so many options on this paper. It's absolutely gorgeous. If it was just pears, I don't think it would have spoken to me as much, but the florals in the paper are to die for. And so together it is just absolutely gorgeous. So that is our last alternate. Let's learn how to make this fold. Okay, I'm going to bring in my packet. So again, if you placed a $50 order in my online store last month, you got a packet in the mail to make this card with me. We have lots of little pieces, so let's keep them buttoned up for the moment. Right here, we're going to have to be pulling them out shortly, but I like lots of pieces, you guys. So I'm going to bring out the card base for right now, and these 4 strips of cardstock. All right, let's start with the measurements for our card base. Oh, and you need some supplies. That was in your note there. And I have the base fold tutorial and the floral impressions tutorial printed out so that I'm ready. All of the other ones, the tutorial is quite it's a lot of pages because I like step-by-step photos. That's my brain is I'm a visual learner, and that works best for me. And we have allergies going. There's cottonwood just floating in the air here, so I apologize for my froggy throat. All right, let's start with our card base. So this is 5.5 by 7 1/4, and I've scored it at 1.5 and 3 inches, and that's going to be our card base. So we're going to accordion fold. We're going to do a hang on here. Okay, we're going to do a mountain fold. So you're trying to follow along with the tutorial. A mountain fold on the first score, and then a valley fold on the second. So can you see that looks kind of like a mountain, and that one looks like a valley, and it also looks like a Z. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to crease this really well, and then we're going to crease this also really well. Okay. And our wonderful moderator here on YouTube is dropping the measurements here. So, whoops, wrong one. Sorry, Lisa. It scrolled up on me there. So 5.5 by 7 1/4, scored at 1.5 and 3 inches for the card base. Thank you, Mary. And then we have these 4 pieces. These 4 pieces are going to form our Z strips, as I like to call them. And these are 1 inch by 7 1/4. And these are also scored at 1.5 and 3. Okay, 1.5 and 3. And we're going to fold them actually the same way. So mountain, valley, and we're going to score. Okay, and once you scored that, crease that first one, just kind of line it back up to the main one, because sometimes it'll shift a little on you, so that it's all nice and straight. Now these are going to be actually going on this direction. All right, hopefully that makes sense. And then we'll take this one and do the same thing. Mountain, valley, get them all creased up. So take your time and go ahead and get these done. And Mary has that. I'll add that to the broadcast here while I'm doing this. These are the 4 strips. Thank you, Mary. And so good to see everyone today. It's hot everywhere, I think. Okay, did I just do that wrong? Okay, yeah, no, I did it right. You'd think by now, I think I could make this card in my sleep. All right, there we go. And then one more. Mountain and a valley. All right, and give that a crease. All right. Fantastic. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're actually going to be going on this way. So I'm going to just flip them around there. So those are our 4 strips. Now, I have some tips for you on how to get these on evenly. I want to make sure that I have even spacing between the strips. And again, I walk you all through this in the tutorial, but let me walk you through it live here. So I'm going to grab my adhesive and I'm going to start with my top strip. On the back here, on this longer portion that doesn't have the scores in it, I'm going to put some adhesive. I do not want any more adhesive than the width of this piece. If I get too much adhesive on, I'm going to glue my card closed. So this piece is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to put about 2 1-inch, oh wait, is this my new one? Yeah, this is my new one. 2 1-inch pieces on there, okay? That's maybe a little bit short of 1, but close enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this on here, and I'm lining it up with the, hang on, my scoring is a little bit wonky. Let me just shore that up here. Straighten up, you guys. Fly right. Okay, there we go. So I've got my sticky end here. Again, that's on the part that doesn't have the score. And I'm going to attach it to this front flap. And I want it flush with the top and flush with the side. Okay. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this. And I think I've done them all in assembling this card. I'm going to walk you through in this version. I'm going to have you go ahead and attach this top strip on the other side as well. So I'm pulling out my accordion part here, my Z-fold part, folding this back, and I'm going to add some adhesive to this. Now this one, I can add adhesive on the whole width of it, okay? I'm tucking it back under, and I'm going to align it with the upper right corner of my card, lining up the top and the side. Okay, give it a good press once you have it in place. And now I have my first Z-fold. Oh, Mercy wants to join the party. Hang on, I gotta let the dog in. All right, go lay down then. She's on not squirrel duty. She would love to be on squirrel duty. You're on spider watch duty, Mercy. Protect me from the spider. All right, so we've got our top one done. Let's go ahead and do our bottom one. This is what worked best for me for getting them all aligned. So again, I'm going to flip this over, and on the end that doesn't have the score lines, I'm going to put 2 1-inch pieces of adhesive. Okay, there we go. So we're going to adhere that on the bottom, lower left. Now I know some of you that have packets are making this along with me. Some of you are just watching the video and you're going to do it later. Totally fine. Okay, we're going to pull this guy out again, fold it backwards. This is where we want the sticky. It's going to be adhering like that. So I'm going to pull it out and put the adhesive right here. There we go. And I'm just going to tuck this under. And again, line this up with so it's flush with the edge and the side. All right, that looks about right. And just give that a press. All right, so we have our top and we have our bottom. Now we need to do these two, and that's where we want to do our even spacing. The top and bottom are easy because they're flush with the top and bottom of the card. This one, and you know what this reminds me of, you guys? It reminds me of a capital E that has an extra middle. That's what it looks like. So what I do is before I put any adhesive on at all, I lay them in here and just kind of space them about how I want it. So I'm just looking for a visual here that looks about evenly spaced. All right, I don't measure it or anything like that. I'm going to pluck out Z-strip number 2 here, and I'm going to add some adhesive. Again, I'm adding it on the left end, only about 2-inch pieces on the part that's not scored. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, and I'm just going to lightly press it in place. Okay, I'm not firmly attaching it yet. I'm just lightly pressing it in place. Now I'm going to pull this one out, and I'm going to add 2 pieces of adhesive. Again, I'm not doing the right yet. I'm only doing the left side on both of these pieces. And then I'm going to put this one in here and look for how it looks to be lining up there. Once I'm happy with it, just lightly press it in place. Now I'm going to check it and see if I need to do any adjusting. It does not have to be exact, but this one to me looks just a skosh too high. So I'm going to just pull it back a teensy bit. All right. Now I'm happier with that. That looks evenly spaced to me. So now that I'm happy with it, I can press these down and I'm ready to attach the other end. All right, so I'm going to pull out this strip, fold this backwards so that I've got that bottom part facing up, add adhesive to that, and stick that down. Okay, and again, it'll be flush with the side. Oh, I see my top one is not really flush. I wonder if I can get that off. It's not horrible. It might be easier just for me to trim it off or leave it. All right, so I've got the second one there, and now I'm going to do the third one. Okay, let's pull that out. Tuck that back in and stick it in place. Again, I'm sticking out a little bit. I'm going to just shove it back until it's flush with the edge. There we go. That looks better. And give it a little press. All right, and now we have our quadruple Z-fold card. Yay! Does that make sense to everyone? Let me know if you got stuck. Now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to recrease everything. Just kind of shore them up. And now we're ready to decorate. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to forge ahead here. I'm going to bring in these 2 pieces. We're going to set this aside, that's for the back, but I'm going to bring in these 2 pieces for the front. Now, all of these other pieces, the dimensions are all in the tutorial. They vary depending on which card I did. This one had 3 layers on the side. This one had no layers on the side and embossed, so it bounced all over the place. But this one, we're going to stick these 2 pieces together, okay? So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. And there's lots of different colorways in here. I just was really attracted to the blues and purples. So let's go ahead and stick this on. All right, there we go. Mercy, you don't need to go out, honey. You just got in. Come here, lay down. She gets cold in the air conditioning, and then she wants to go outside, and then she gets hot, and then she wants to come in. And that's pretty much my whole day in a nutshell. Open the door, close the door. That is my main job, is doggy door person. So I have this layered on a piece of fresh freesia cardstock here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere it onto the left side, and we're going to leave an even border at the top, sides, bottom, both sides, even border all the way around. Hopefully that makes sense. So I am not using, Terry is asking if I'm using thick basic white. I am not. I am just using basic white, the regular. This card has so many layers that if I was using thick, it would become very, very thick. So I am using the regular weight. I hope that answers your question. All right, so we've got our left side decorated here. I'm gonna let Mercy out again. Goodness. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add some embossed pieces here. So I'm gonna grab my little bag of fun parts and pieces. Now there's some really teeny tiny ones in here, and we will get to those. Hang on, I'm gonna just find the right page of my tutorial here so that I'm following along with it. Okay, yes, this is what I want right here. So we're going to add all of our embossed pieces in this next step. So I'm going to pull out our embossed pieces. So I'm going to open up my bag here, but I just want, right now, I just want all of these embossed pieces right here. Okay, again, all of these dimensions will be in the tutorial. These also varied. Some were DSP, some were embossed, some were layered, some were not. They were all a little bit different. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere. Let's see, which ones am I adhering first? I'm going to adhere the front of the Z strips. So that's these pieces right here. Let me flip them over so that I can get my adhesive on them. Let's see, where did my, oh, found it. Right in front of your face, Sue. Oh my goodness, seriously. All right, so, oh, your dogs don't like wind and rain. Yeah, my dogs, not at all. All right, I've stuck it to my finger, so that it's definitely got good amount of sticky on it. And let's go ahead and stick this right in place, right here. Okay, so I've got that top one in place, and I'm just gonna repaint that on all 4 of them. Okay. All right. Pop this one in place. And got number 3 going on right now. And one more here. Number 4 for our quadruple, all right? Again, all of the dimensions for all of these layering pieces are in the tutorial. There we go, got that on. Now I'm going to open this up flat, and I'm going to adhere this piece right here. And this, and some of them, this actually I don't think I did any layers on this. I initially thought I would, and I didn't like doing a colored layer because it showed through the slats. So I preferred to not have a layered piece over here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on. So we've got all of our embossed pieces in place. Okay. All right. Now we're going to decorate these little guys, these little inner strips. Here's where the little pieces come in. So I am going to go back to my packet of goodies here. So you guys that are in this class, you can just go in and try to, at this point, I think you can just sprinkle everything out on the table. Let's pull everything out because these guys are still captured. Oh, look, I have a little adhesive on my finger. So I've got 4 little teeny tiny pieces of designer series paper and 4 little rectangles. So I'm going to turn all the designer paper over. I want the purple, the fresh freesia side up, so I'm going to turn it to the floral side and put my adhesive on there. Again, all of these measurements for these little pieces are in the tutorial. This is another one that varied depending on which alternate I was doing. All right, I've stuck them to my hand. And now we're going to go ahead and stick these in place. All right, so we want that fresh freesia side up, and we're sticking it on fresh freesia cardstock. So very subtle, but has a nice little pattern. And I have spent hours and hours and hours on making these step-by-step tutorials. I have 3 of them done, and I'm working on the last 2. So thank you for your patience with me while I get that done. And as soon as it's available, I will have it up on my blog. There we've got our 4 pieces layered together. And look, I have some ink on me. What a shocker. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and stick these on the inner part of our Z-fold just for a little contrast. You don't have to stick anything on there. You could just leave them plain, totally fine, but this just makes it extra fun. So you can start at the top, you can start at the bottom, you can start at the middle. Totally doesn't matter. You just want to make sure you have an even border at the top, the bottom, and the sides, like so. Okay. Let's go ahead and stick that on right here. Now, if you've made the card base, you can decorate this any way you want. Use any different measurements or papers or whatever. All right, there we go. We've got our fun little bits on the side there. And what are we're going to do next? Good question. We are going to decorate our front of our card here. So I'm going to start by taking this little packet here that has all our fun little die cut pieces, sprinkling those out. We've got, these dies are really unique because they have the die that does the perimeter, and then there's a special insert die that cuts all these little decorative slits in the flower. And in the centers, it cuts the little, I don't know if you can see them, little decorative bits. There's an insert that you can put in the center, or you can not put it in, your choice if you want it just solid. I like the little kind of sprinkle look. And then the die set has, I'm going to grab it right here so you can show what I'm talking about. You see there's actually 2 dies there. That's the insert die that cuts those details. The leaves, there's 2 different ways. You can do the ones with the inserts or without. I went with the ones without the inserts for this, but you can see the little inserts for the middle. Super cool dies, really unique. I really like them. All right, so we've got all that. We also have our banner that I cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm going to grab the Secret Sea ink. Now, if you're making this card along with me and you don't have the Secret Sea ink, that is one of the new online exclusive, or excuse me, one of the new in colors in the annual catalog. Night of Navy would also look really nice. So I'm going to ink up my thanks and stamp it in here. And again, if you don't have this stamp set and you have your packet, you can substitute any stamps in your stash and make this could be a birthday card, anniversary card, like literally any occasion would be cool. All right, so I'm going to slide that aside because we need it to stamp our back reading. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this in place. So this is going to go right here. It's going to overlap the flowers and the second Z strip there. So I'm just going to flip this over and grab my dimensionals and add a couple of dimensionals on the back. Now, I'm going to be live tonight, again, at 7:30 Central Time. That's one of my regular videos where you'll be getting you'll be making the card with me. We'll be creating it together. You can help vote on what we use on the card. And, okay, I've got that stuck on there. You just want to make sure that the part with the dimensionals is not between the gaps of the slats, or it's going to stick your card closed. All right, so I've got that done. Let's go ahead. Oh gosh, I'm afraid I'm going to lose something here. All right, I'm going to stick my centers on my flowers before they go missing. I'm going to use my glue dots for that. And let's pull back this. All right, where's my, found it. Here's my take your pick tool. All right, we're going to go ahead and flip these middles over. Or you know what, you can just put them on the middle of the flower. That would work. Let's do that. Either way would work. All right, so I've got my glue dots on there. Oh, Mary is getting some love in the comments. She is an amazing moderator. We really appreciate all that she does. All right, she's got all the products she's dropping in here. All right, so I've got that middle stuck on, and we're gonna go ahead and stick this one on right here. All right, so now we have our 2 flowers. All right, next up, we want to add some leaves to our flowers, and you can stick these leaves wherever you want. I'm going to pull back my glue dots here. I'm going to grab a glue dot. Now, my leaves are old olive. My flowers, of course, are fresh freesia. I'm going to put a glue dot at the base of the leaf, on the front of the base of the leaf, and just tuck it right in here so that it's just sticking out a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Now these leaves are actually the same size. Clearly the flowers are not, but that's okay, right? The leaves on a plant are usually the same size. So we're going to put a leaf glue dot at the bottom of our leaf. Not a leaf, Susan. And then we're going to grab this little flower and have it coming out right here. All right, fantastic. Now this little flower is going to go right to the right of our banner. So I'm actually going to just stick a dimensional on the Z strip itself. That will make sure, then I'll be sure that none of that adhesive is going to be between the slats. All right, so I'm just going to stick that right there. And then I'm going to I'll do 2 dimensionals right here to attach the bigger flower on the 3rd Z strip right there. All right, so we're going to tilt this and just make sure that those dimensionals are fully covered. And there we have our card going really well. We're just going to finish up the back side of the card. So I'm going to bring in these 2 pieces. And again, you can make these for the back. You can make them any size you want. I chose to do a layer of fresh freesia with a basic white on top, and I'm inking up the stamp I Appreciate You in Secret C from the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. I'm going to flip that over and adhere this to our fresh freesia layer. 7:30 Central Time tonight is when I'm live. I think you guys are planning on a meetup. That's awesome. You can hang out while we make cards together. All right, so there we have our back panel for the card. Let's go ahead and put this adhesive on here. Flip it over and adhere it right to the back side. Now, on none of my alternates did I add any panels here, but you totally could. If you wanted to make this like a wow card that was just amazing, that would be really fun to add some patterns on the back side as well, or some emboss panels. Totally up to you. But there we have our quadruple Z-fold card. Oh, I forgot something, you guys. You have it's a sticky note, and inside the sticky note we have some hidden little pearls. It's either 3 small or 3 large. Either one works. And let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. Just going to add a little embellishment to our word thanks. So I'm going to put 1 little pearl here up by the capital T. You guys see that right there? And then the other 2 will go down by the S in thanks right here and right here. Yes, 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time. All right, there we go. So there we have our little embellishment on the front. Yay, we did it, you guys. Fantastic. I'm going to close up the ink pad quickly before I have an inky mistake here. So I'm going to bring in all of the alternates. Well, let's leave that one here. We've got all of our cards here. So again, all of the details on this, all the pretty pictures of the cards will be on my blog. Let's slide these up here. There we go. And then there'll be a detailed tutorial step-by-step walking you through how to make all of these with all of my tips and step-by-step instructions. So I'm going to flip the camera here And thanks so much for hanging out with me. Where's my button? There's my button. Thank you, everyone. I hope you stayed cool, even though the heat is here. Oh, hi, Mercy. Can you see her poking her face in? Hi, how are ya? Little tiny face right there. Apparently she wants to go out and bake herself in the sun. Hope you want to join me tonight at 7:30 Central Time for another creative video. Thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You're absolutely making the world a kinder place with every card that you send. I appreciate you so much. Take care, and we'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.